In the heart of the ancient forest, where sunlight barely pierced through the dense canopy, robed figures gathered in a clearing. The cult had chosen this night, the darkest of the year, for their forbidden ritual. Their faces were obscured by hoods, shadows hiding all but their eyes, which glinted with sinister anticipation. The air was thick with the scent of earth and decay. The forest floor was a mosaic of fallen leaves and twisted roots. The cult moved in unison, their chants low and rhythmic, blending with the nocturnal sounds of the forest. At the center of the clearing stood a large stone altar, ancient and worn, its surface stained by countless past rituals. The leader of the cult stepped forward. In his hands he held a tome bound in leather, its pages yellowed and brittle with age. He began to recite the incantations, his voice rising above the whispers of the forest. The words were an ancient tongue, forgotten by most but powerful in their invocation. The other cultists formed a circle around the altar, each holding a candle. The flames cast flickering shadows across their faces, dancing and wavering, as if reacting to the dark energy building in the clearing. The cultists' voices joined the leaders, a chorus of devotion and dread, their eyes fixed on the altar. At the leader's signal, two cultists brought forth a struggling figure, bound and gagged. The victim's eyes were wide with terror, reflecting the cold, indifferent light of the candles. They placed the figure on the altar, securing the bonds tightly. The leader raised a ceremonial dagger, its blade gleaming with an unnatural light. The chanting grew louder, more frenzied, as the moment of sacrifice approached. The leader's eyes closed in concentration, his lips moving in silent prayer. Then, with a swift motion, he brought the dagger down. The victim's scream was brief, swallowed by the night and the chants that rose to a fever pitch. Blood pooled on the altar, flowing into carved grooves and channels that directed it towards the base. The earth seemed to drink it in eagerly. The ground beneath the altar began to tremble, a deep hum vibrating through the bones of the cultists. The air grew colder, the forest falling into an unnatural silence, as if holding its breath. From the shadows, shapes began to emerge, dark and formless, drawn by the power of the ritual. The cultists continued their chant, eyes wide with awe and fear, as the spirits of the forest responded to their call. The ritual reached its climax, a crescendo of sound and energy. The leader raised his arms, invoking the final incantation. The spirits swirled around the clearing, their presence a tangible force. The forest itself seemed to bend and twist, the trees leaning in as if to witness the dark communion. Then, as suddenly as it began, the ritual ended. The chanting ceased, the spirits dissipated, and the forest exhaled a long, mournful sigh. The cultists lowered their candles, faces reflecting exhaustion and elation. The leader stepped back, eyes surveying the aftermath with satisfaction. The forest had accepted their offering, and the power they sought was now within their grasp. The cultists dispersed silently, their robes blending into the darkness as they made their way back through the forest. The clearing remained, a testament to the night's events. The altar was stained with the blood of sacrifice. The forest resumed its natural rhythms, but the presence of the cult lingered. It was a dark stain on the land, a reminder of the ritual performed in its depths